Hey guys, sorry this chapter is a little short, but hopefully you guys like it anyways. But just warning you, it is short today, so yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Tanju and you looked behind your back. It was a familiar looking boy. Uh, yes? You replied calmly. Hano-chan? He asked again. Yes? You raised an eyebrow at him. What he did next took you by surprise. Wisteria flower! The yellow-haired boy cried, clinging onto your waist. Tanjiro looked at the boy's actions with wide eyes. Who was this person? Why did he know you? Agie-sama? You asked in bewilderment. The honey-eyed colored male whispered and clung harder. You two know each other? Tanjiro spoke. Yeah. You harshly shoved Agimitsa off you. Long story. Actually, when I was younger, I would throw letters out of my window on windy days. One of my letters reached Agie-sama, and since then we would write each other real often. But then he fell head over heels for a girl and forgot completely about me. You were the one who never wrote me back, Igatsuma cried. He tried to hug you again, but your hand stopped him from doing so. I especially told you that day I wouldn't write back if you chose her, you glared at Agie-sama. I told you she was bad news. And did you listen? Agie-sama looked down with shade-filled eyes. And where is she now, exactly? You looked around in a mocking manner. The blond boy shrugged, more embarrassed. Congratulations for passing the final selection, the kids said in unison, breaking the tension between you two. First person POV. Hayo, Tanjiro? Kayako grabbed my hands in Tanjiro's and led us away from Agie-sama. You will pay for the uniform costs and we'll get your measurements and engrave your ranks. The kids continued. There are 10 ranks. You are currently the lowest rank. 10. What about the Nichirin swords? The color-changing blades? Genya barked. You will now choose your Tamiaga aluminum to forge your sword, which you'll be finished within 10 to 15 days. And the sword? Genya asked again. Now we will assign you your Katsugai crows, the white-haired kid said, clapping her hands. Crows rapidly made their way to Tanjiro and the others, except Agimet-sama, Kayaka, and I. Ooh, I forgot you guys don't get crows. A fox and a rooster then ran out from the forest. The rooster pecked Kayaka's hand, and the fox jumped onto my shoulders, wrapping its tail around me like a scarf, and yawning. These aren't crows, I sighed. The fox yelped. I got a sparrow. Agie-sama's sweat dropped. This is primarily used for communication, the white-haired kid said. The crow cawed loudly, as if it was scared. I don't care about a damn crow, Genya said angrily. He walked towards the girl and grabbed her by her hair. I want the Nichirin sword. Give it to me now. While Tanjiro went to stop Genya, I decided to focus on something else. I looked at Kayaka, who was trying to pet the rooster with a sulking face. I tapped Kayaka's shoulder, gaining his attention. You know, roosters are symbols of courage and reliability. What's reliability? Kayaka asked. Often stumbled between syllables. Reliability. It means someone you can trust and always count on. I smiled sweetly at him. And what symbol is a fox? He asked. I pointed at my fox scarf. Cleverness, good luck, and intelligence. I sighed. I would really appreciate if they gave me a crow. I just like standing too much. They broke his arm, Zenitsu whipped. After a little fight, we were called to pick our, I'm going to butcher this name, Tamiaga alloy. They all looked the same. I closed my eyes and examined my hand towards the table. I waited for the right answer. Left, front, front, left, front. I opened my eyes and saw a tamiyaka that chose for me. I grabbed it. Kayaka chose his Tagiyama immediately. Wait, he chose an alloy? Aren't you too young to wield a sword? I yelled at him. He shook his head. I passed a selection, meaning I will also be a demon slayer. No, you won't, I scolded him. I'm supposed to protect you. You're still a child. I'm already 10. I'm not a child anymore, Kayaka pouted. Ian, let Kayaka be, Tanjiro whispered to me. Tanjiro? I looked at Tanjiro. Whose side are you on? If he's sure of what he can do, then we should also believe in him, Tanjiro said. You said I was reliability, Kayaka pouted. I said that about the rooster. My sweat dropped. I then looked at Tanjiro's pleading eyes. Pick the alloy, Kayaka. I'll make sure to murder Tanjiro later. Kayaka smiled and Tanjiro jolted. After choosing your alloys, we all went our separate ways. Tanjiro hugged me one last time before going who knows where again. Agiamensa clung to my leg for the last half of a mile until I finally managed to drive him away. Kayaka and I arrived at Kasa's home. She was so happy to see us. You're back. Oh, we're back, I smiled, running towards her and hugging her. She hugged me back, then flicked my forehead. Of course you're back. She smiled and joined Kayaka in our group hug. Welcome, kids. And also made this strange oil that can paralyze demons' limbs, Kayaka said excitedly. Kasa hummed, meaning she was listening. But there's a question I want to ask. What is it? Kasa gave me another portion of beef stew. I guess you guys are eating now. Are these demon slayers who don't use swords? Kasa placed down her plate and looked at me with a serious face. What happened at the selection? I thought Kayaka wouldn't be a demon slayer like me, but it seems I miscalculated it all. I sighed heavily. Kasa only sighed, and then brummed her left-hand fingers on the table, deep in thought. She finally looked at Kayaka and I. You can send a letter to oh my god, I'm going to butcher his name. Okiyatama-sama about the selection to make him agree that Kayaka should not combat or send Kayaka's rooster to tell him. Oh, Okiya-sama? I told him I had lightly. The leader of the Demon Slayer course, Kasa explained. He is a reasonable and wise person. I'm sure he will help you. But I want to kill demons with you, Kayaka protested. No killing until you're older, I told him. You will have your blade, but you will be trained at least 6 more months. 6 more months? You will be 11 by then, Kasa said. Or would you rather wait until you're 13? Kayaka widened his eyes. 11. Kayaka was being trained these 12 days to master the mist breathing and each of its postures. He knows 6 postures, but he can only perform 1. Today, on the 13th day, 2 people with weird masks arrived to Kasa's house. I hid inside the house and Kasa attended to the people. I'm going to butcher their names, but here we go. My name is Hakaro, and this is Hibiki. We are here to deliver swords for Miss Yin Hanao and Kayaka Hanao. One of the masked persons said, guessing by the voice it was a male. Kasa rapidly eyed the men and moved aside. Come on in, then. I peeked from my room, and so did Kayaka. They have brought your swords, kids, Kasa called. The masked men sat down, and so did we. This one is for the boy, said Takahiro. He scratched the back of his head. So, a kid did enter this election, huh? Must be hard. I glared at Takahiro. He cleared his throat and looked away. I was told that Kayaka works with poison, so the sword can store the injected poison on demons. The handle opens, so there's There's where he puts the poison. One at a time, though. Kayaka looked at his sword and swung it a few times. The blade started changing colors. Orange? Kayako explained. This one is for you, Miss Hado. Hibiki gave me my sword. I put the best efforts into this one. Thank you. I nodded, then unsheathed the sword and looked at it. It was shiny and smooth, but it slowly changed to favorite color, instilling a faint favor-ish color glow. So beautiful, Takahiro breathed out. Never seen a sword glow like that. Hibiki hummed. Is it bad? I panicked lightly. No, not at all. I'm just surprised. Hibiki waved his hands around. Yin Hado, my fox spoke suddenly. You got a mission, Yin Hado. It talks, Kayaka exclaimed. I also recite poems, kid, the fox said, sitting elegantly. Sitting up or lying down, like crystal stone, upon the ground. For whom was it you yearned? I continue. Never would I think it was for old abandoned me. You guessed correctly. That poem I recited, but never mind that. Head to your mission already. The fox jumped over my shoulder. Already? I widened my eyes. No time to waste. No time to waste. The fox began biting my hair angrily. Okay, I'm out. Flashback of how you and Zenitsu met. Yin waited outside the window with patient eyes. Her son was sleeping in a pile of soft pillows and fluffy blankets. The boy was really energetic, but at least he fell asleep easily. As soon as she felt her hair twirl in the wind, she threw out her 5 letters out the window. Please, let them arrive to someone, the haired colorette prayed before putting her hat and dress on and running to the shrine. Leaving a vast home didn't help her cope with her loneliness. Her brother has no longer there to keep her company, and the maids aren't exactly people Yin enjoyed being with. Books weren't useful either, so she often, at the moment she was thrown letters out the window and waited for someone to reply. She gave basic info about herself, careful not to reveal anything personal or that she could later backfire against her or her family. Days passed. A month and a half, 2 months. I have listened to your story, and I made my final decision, Yin said. She always did. Her voice was kind and soft. The one at fault is you. Your daughter knows you always forgive her climactics. Should she behave like that? Show authority. Be firm. Be strong. Be a father. Yes, thank you, Harudono, the man cried. He knelt on the floor and sobbed. Please, return home and reflect your wrongs. The skin-colored skinned girl smiled softly. The man nodded and rapidly left. A crow cawed loudly and sat beside Yin. He gave her a letter. Curious, the girl opened it. Heyo, my name is Agitsa Zenitsu. I am 8 years old too. My hair is black and my eyes are, I think they're yellow. My favorite food is fried eel. I never tried stewed beef, to be honest. I don't have parents, but I live good. I feel happy I can talk with someone my age. I live in Nagioa. I hope someday I visit Tokyo and maybe visit you. Do you have a favorite color? How about favorite animal? Favorite flower? Do you have a pet? What are your special ability? Mine is that I have really good hearing. Can't wait to receive your next letter. Agia-sama. You smiled widely. Hado Doma? Sir Doma and his family are here for the courting set. The maid said, and the door shrine was open. The eye-colored girl interrupted her. Postpone the courting ceremony. And bring me a paper, quill, and ink, please. Yin got up, taking off her wise saint clothes. But Hana Donut, there, she stammered. I remember not stuttering, Yin said sternly. Right away, Hana Dono. She nodded and walked away. Once she shut the door, Yin giggled and hugged the letter. Her stomach filled and tickled. Her palms felt warm. A sweet shiver coursed through her body. It became a daily routine for Yin to write a letter to Agimitsa thrice a day, once in the morning and twice in the evening. Agimitsa, until now, became her most intimate friend. The girl's mind flooded with dreams and stories. Often saw her relationship with Agimitsa was a forbidden love, like the one she's read in books. A boy, an orphan, an outcast, from a lower social class. A girl, nearly a deity on earth, and known in numerous cities and villages, locked away from an unknown world so close, yet so far from her grasp. Agiamensa often replied Yin's questions about the world outside her window. In exchange, Yin would solve and reply his questions about the life of a nearly royalty as best as she could. Sadly, the dreadful day where Agimitsa would fall for someone arrived. Yin waited too long for that moment. She was ready to accept his courting and agree to an intimate marriage. Obviously Yin's mom, would make a fuss out of it. As her only child, it became of how much Yin's mother favored her. Yin believed she would be able to convince her mother to cancel her wedding with Doma and instant marry her to Yitsuma. But the letter she received that day from Agimitsa was far from what she expected. Agimitsa Zenitsu, fell for another woman. Her heart broke. It cried, no, it wailed, it screamed, it hurt so much. Just by reading the letter, Yin knew that woman was nothing but trouble. No, it wasn't her jealousy talking, it was her intuition. She immediately wrote Agimitsa a letter, complaining about the other girl and the negative effects it had caused on him. Of course, Agimitsa read Yin's letter and discouraging message and wrote back how wrong Yin was. He wrote about how wonderful and perfect the girl was, stabbing Yin's heart even more and even worse. Yin could bear the pain no more and made her choice. Leave that vulgar, commoner boy behind, and remain as her, Yin sighed. Or stay with the girl, and Yin would never speak to him again. Of course, Agie-sama was too in love with the girl, but Yin was his best friend. He didn't know who to choose. Agie-sama wrote about how important this girl was to him, to which Yin took the letter as I choose the girl, and stopped sending him letters. Worried, Agimitsa sent letters to the haired colorette for at least 5 months. All that time unsuccessful to retrieve a letter from Miss Yin. With a panicked heart, he gave up. Not too long, Yin's prediction were true. Agimitsa's lover left him alone with no money and with no love. He was all alone once again. Then a man paid Agimitsa's debt in exchange for making the boy his apprentice. Zenitsu thought his life was over, that he was going to die alone, so he desperately begged girls anywhere he went, hoping he could fill up that empty space in his heart that Yin once filled.